You can do it, yes you can, but there's a trick. And the trick is you just gotta start. And that's sometimes the hardest part. But you've started because you showed up. That's the most important thing. Just start and the rest will follow. It'll all fall into place. This is your practice. This is your flexibility and mobility practice. It's a 1 hour long practice, but if you can only hack 10 minutes of it, or you can only stick around for 10 minutes, that's okay. Cut yourself some slack. You got it going on. You just got to try. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home, where you do it your way, where I practice with no cuts. There are no cuts. It's totally live. It's totally unedited from start to finish. So just like being in a real class, that's our goal, to give you the comfort of your own home, doing it your way, without the commute and without, having to worry about what the person next to you is doing and am I keeping up? Don't worry about that. You're doing it your way. You've got to let the yoga meet you where you are. I practice every single day, and I'd like you to join me every single day for a different type of practice. You can do them all. You can do them all because the bottom of the screen says, do what is right for your body. Everybody's body is different. Every day is different. Honor that, listen to it, but just move. That's the big thing. And just ease off of the, oh, I should do it this way, or oh, I can't do that. Don't tell yourself that. Think positive thoughts. Do it your way. Be happy with what you can do and take care of yourself, this one and only wonderful body that you have. And that's the word to think about today. It is self-care. And self-care means self-care, taking care of you and taking care of you first. Think about it. On an airplane, if it's going down and the oxygen things come down, they say put on your mask first before anybody else's. You've got to take care of you first before you can give your best to others. So remember that as we practice self-care. Okay, props, the usual things, a couple yoga blocks, a strap. I'll use them throughout the practice. You know what you want to use. If you don't have anything at all, you can modify and make it work for you. And then maybe later on this week, once you decide I'm coming back every day, then you can go buy the props. I've got some water handy, and I'm gonna ask you to take a stress number. On a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, what's going on in your body right now? Give it a number like you do at the doctor's office, with the frowny face to smiley face. Give it a number and we'll come back to it in the end. In a short period of time, your stress is gonna go down because you're gonna feel better. Let's come on up to standing. Piper, go get in your bed. All right, so come on up to standing and let's start. All right, where we start usually. If you have a chair nearby, that's a great prop to have as well. Use it, just make it work for you. Maybe it's a countertop nearby. We're gonna take a confidence stance. Feet a little wider than hip width distance, hands to your hips, elbows back, chest is lifted. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Big breath in. And a big sighing breath out. Let your shoulders come down. Let your elbows go back. Chest is lifted. And your feet. Try to practice barefoot. You're at home. It doesn't matter. If you can practice comfortably barefoot, you can use all the muscles in your feet as well, which are really important to strengthen the foundation. Let's start by coming up onto the balls of the feet. Totally fine, no problem. Don't judge yourself if you got a chair nearby. It doesn't matter. You're doing just as well, feeling the same sensations in the feet as if you don't have a chair. Now, if you don't have something to lean on, you're also working on your balance a little bit, which is good. But that's not primarily what we're after right here, right now. We're focusing on stretching the feet, feeling it in your heels, your calves, and finding the strength in your foundation. So lift and lower. Maybe stay up on the balls of the feet a little bit longer. Keep your heels behind your feet. And if you fall out, no big deal, get back in. It's all about life, right? Everybody fails, no big deal, get back in. I loved it at our church yesterday. They said, everybody's a loser. And that's kind of true, isn't it? Everybody's a loser. That's all right. Everybody fails. Get back in. Get back in and do what you can with what you got. No big deal. Nobody's any better than you. Nobody's any better at yoga than you. You're just fine. Do it your way. All right, let's come on down. My calves are starting to ache. Let's come on down. Bring the weight into your heels and lift your toes up. Give your toes a little bit of a wiggle. Let that feel good. And then plant your feet solidly on the ground. Let them feel good. Maybe move your hips a little bit from side to side. And then send your arms up high to the sky. Lift your fingers up. Interlace your fingers. Send your palms up to the sky. Bend in the elbows, maybe, or a big long stretch. Here, it's up to you. Palm tree pose. Move from side to side. Lateral flexion of your spine, moving sideways. Breathe in. Sigh it out through your mouth. Oh, stretch it out in the side body. Let it feel wonderful. You decide how far you want to go. And then finish up, come back to the midline of your body. Let your hands float down, put your hands at your low back, push your belly forward, squeeze your elbows towards your spine so you feel really open in your heart and in your chest. Look up, 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 as high as you want to look up, pushing the hips forward, keeping stable here. Exhale the air out of your lungs and hinge forward. Bend in half like a paperclip. Let your hands work toward the earth. Little bend in your knees might feel good. Adjust your feet so you're comfortable. There are no rules. The only rules are don't hurt. If something hurts, don't do it. Maybe shake your neck a little bit here. Loosen up. If it hurts, don't do it. Back out of it. Take it to a lesser percentage. Don't hurt yourself. Fingers reach toward the earth, or maybe they touch the earth. It's up to you. Tailbone high and lifted to the sky. Shake your neck, shake your hips. Oh, just move to let it feel good. Stillness back in the body, then roll your spine up one vertebra at a time, having your chin tucked to your chest until you come up to standing. Once you're here, lift your arms up high to the sky one more time. Maybe pop up on the toes, remember them. And let's take those Nordic pole arms. Start to walk like you've got big ski poles. Sending one arm to the back of the room, one arm to the front. Little bend in your knees. Pretend you're skiing. Let it feel good. All right, my friends in Colorado, Tammy, Nancy, Sherry, you got some snow, don't you? And cold. I think it was 12 degrees when I looked today. All right, so keep the arms going. Just get some movement going in the arms. Little gentle kindness in the knees. And then finish up. Let your arms come down. Tee out your arms, then start to draw circles to the back of the room. Just loosen up the shoulders. You can put a bigger bend in the knees now. When the hands come down, knees bend. Knees straighten when the hands go up. Arm circles in the other direction, nice and big, or not. You do what feels good for your shoulders. Come to stillness at the midline of the body. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Cross body apple picking. All right, so take one arm, take it across the body as if you're reaching up to pick an apple, and then the other side. And then balance a little bit on the toes of that side that's reaching. All right, now let's have a little bit of hang time. Maybe lift that foot up and hold it here. Bring that foot down, cross body, reach like the apple's just a little too far away, and lift that leg and hang. A little bit of hang time. Let's go back. Do it again. You can pick the apples. You can hang and reach. And then do the other side. You do what's right for you. And then finish. Come back to a neutral position. Big coat swing. Arms are down by your sides. Fingers are loose toward the earth. Start to twist from side to side. Let it all be happening in the waist. Arms are hanging heavy as you look back over your shoulder. Twist, twist, twist. All right, this is a great little warm-up because it wakes everything up that you got in preparation for what's yet to come. Kind of like when you stretch it out first thing in the morning. That's what you're doing here. You're moving to let the body know you got a good day ahead and lots of movement ahead. All right, last pose. Slow it on down. Come back to the midline. Ragdoll. Love this pose. So good for your low back. Hands to opposite elbow creases. Lengthen up through your spine. Feet are secure on the ground and they're about hip-width distance apart. Exhale the air out of your lungs, bringing your belly button towards your spine. Fold forward. Little bend in your knees. Oh, let it feel great. Crown of your head toward the earth. Look back up towards your belly button. I think the bend in the knees intensifies the pose. I think it feels super good. I really feel it all up and down my glutes and the backs of my hamstrings.
Big breath in, big breath out. You can straighten your legs if you want, then start to sway your elbows from one side to the other. Just sway the elbows. And now feel what you feel. That's the most important thing in all the poses. Feel what you feel. Just take a time. Don't be so much on autopilot thinking about, am I doing it right? What's next? No, feel what you feel here. I'll be quiet. Feel what you feel in your low back. All right, so all the poses, take the time to breathe and feel what you feel. Come back to the midline of the body. Release your hands towards your mat. Place them down on the mat and then come on down to your child's pose. All right, this is your sacred moment here on your mat, safety and security of your own home. We're going to come into child's pose. So the body's kind of warmed up. Knees are together, big toes touching, hips back to the heels. Take a block or a smaller block if you like and place it under your forehead. Arms can be down by your sides, shoulders away from your ears, palms up, and just rest. Let your spine be long. Let the crown of your head reach to the top of the room and your tailbone to the back. Rest your spine. You can bring your head all the way down to your mat. You could take a variation called a wide-legged child's pose. That would be spreading your knees, big toes touching, hips back towards your heels. They can touch on the ground if you want. You could take a block or two to the top of your mat. You could take a block and rest your head on it here. If the block or two are at the top of your mat, you could put your hands on them to intensify the pose. Head comes down to either the block or the mat. Hand goes onto the block or they reach to the top of your mat. I've got my hands on the block in this extended child's pose, and that, puts some more movement in my shoulders. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We're going to do thread the needle pose. So this is a nice little anticipatory wake-up call for the shoulders as we prepare for that pose, thread the needle. We do thread the needle often, but I've got a couple variations for you today. Take a deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out. Let all the tension go. It's only yoga. You shouldn't be stressed out. Tailbone, think of it going further to the back of the room. Spine is relaxed. Nice stretch in the knees and the ankles, the quads. The spine is lengthening. Close your lips, and if you like, breathe in and out of your nose only. This is called your Ujjayi Pranayama breath. Listen to the sound of the breath in the back of your throat. Soften in the jaws, lengthen in the spine. Let this feel terrific. Come back to this pose anytime you like, or stay here longer. It's your yoga. Stay in a pose. Skip a pose here and there. Rest in the pose that speaks to your body. You're doing plenty. You don't have to go on to the next thing. Enjoy what feels super good, and hopefully, I bet, you'll say, oh my gosh, every pose feels so good. I want to stay in each and every one. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's finish in this pose if you want to. I'm going to press into my hands. I'm going to bring my hands under my shoulders. I'm going to come on up, bringing the knees in as well. And now I'm going to go into a toes pose. I'm going to sit back on my heels with my toes tucked towards my shins. I'm going to sit back here and hold. Now, everybody's different. Some people, this pose is unbearable. If it is painful, anything, if it's painful, come out of it. Hinge forward. Don't do it. Use your blocks if you want and put your hands on them. Think of the blocks as bringing the ground up to you. Just hang out here. Do what feels right. Enjoy the stretch without being in pain. Might be uncomfortable. I think this pose is always uncomfortable. It's never comfortable for me, at least, but it also doesn't hurt. So you assess how it feels for you. All right, so I'm sitting back on my heels, maybe use the blocks, just stretch out the toes, breathe in, breathe out. Then I'm going to take it to an ankle pose. So the big stretch in this direction, let's take a big stretch in the other direction. Sit on the tops of your feet. Tops of your feet are on your mat. Use your blocks maybe to walk back. Knees are together. Let them pop on up and rest on your feet. All right, so use the blocks as you like and just be at peace in this pose. Maybe bring your hands to a prayer center position. Always a good place to be. Close your eyes and just feel your heart full of gratitude and thanks for your healthy body, for your breath, for your heart, and just for being here and taking your self-care, taking time for you. Don't overlook that. Don't underestimate the value of taking self-care. Maybe that's your mantra today. Maybe I will take care of myself. Maybe I am taking care of myself. Make a positive statement. I am wonderful. I am happy. I am fit. Whatever it is, tell yourself that and remember that. And when we come back to hands in prayer, remember that. Have your moment of gratitude. All right, there's your ankle pose. Let's go back to toes pose. Come out of the pose, tuck your toes, have a seat on your heels. Hands can be on your thighs, prayer center, soft shoulders. Just breathe and stretch out the feet. Back to the ankles, just a little flow, go back and forth to what feels good and right for you. All right. Let's pick up the pace a little bit today. Our Mondays are different. Every single day is different. Check us out every day. Do what you can with what you got, but let's get going. All right, let's come into a neutral tabletop. Lift your feet up, squeeze and scrunch your toes. Circle the ankles right, circle them left. Tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. That's always fun. Let it be. Place the tops of your feet on your mat. Let's do cat-cow. Shoulders are over your wrists, knees are under your hips. Lengthen through your spine, crown of your head and tailbone are in opposing directions. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and tuck your tailbone under. Let it feel good in your low back. You've got to move your low back. You've got to move your body every day. Cow pose, crown of your head and tailbone lift. You got to find that flexibility and that mobility. Breathe. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. So picture those two animals. A cat arching its back like a Halloween cat. Push the tops of your feet and your hands into the mat. And a cow, opposite direction. Tailbone and crown of the head lift. Back and forth. Full range of motion, moving your spine. Purposefully, intentionally finding the movement. Your yoga lets you move better off of your mat. All right, so come to a neutral tabletop. Move your hips side to side like a puppy wagging its tail. Just side to side, move the hips little by little. Come back to stillness at the midline of your body. Extend your right leg long. Plant the ball of the foot on the mat. Stretch it out here. You feel like a runner at the starting line of a race. Breathe. Run the good race. That's our life, right? Run the good race. All right, press into the ball of the foot. Let it feel good, the stretch in the calf. Lift that extended right leg up. Lift it good and high. Feel the compression in your low back. Let the right leg, which is extended, cross the midline of your body as you squeeze high in your upper inner thighs. Plant the ball of the foot down on the left side. Look over your left shoulder as far as feels good. Maybe you can look back to your ankle or your knee. Sweep that extended right leg around. Bring it around to what feels good, maybe hip height. Plant the ball of the foot so you feel good and secure. You're almost going to be in a tripod here with the left hand, left knee, right foot. Lift your right arm up to the sky, twist and look up. Push the ground away, really turn your neck, look up. Exhale, plant the hand, bring the knee back to meet the other knee. Left leg's turn, extend the left leg, push the ball of the foot into the ground, press. Oh, feel what you feel all the way up that leg. Let it feel good. Lift the left leg good and high. Lift the leg nice and at about hip height. Dial the left hip down. Hold it here for a moment. Kind of a half bird dog, right? Plant the foot onto the opposite side of the body as you squeeze in the upper inner thighs. Look over your right shoulder. Twist, twist, twist. So this is a nice lateral flexion of your spine, big stretch up the left side of your body. Now take your left leg, sweep it around to about hip height or whatever works for you. Everybody's different. Sweep the left arm up, look up. Look up, push the earth away, stretch up, reach up, look to your hand. Plant the hand, bring the knee back to meet the other knee. Let's do cat-cow. You're an expert at that now. Push into your, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, cow. And then finish. Maybe you want to do it again. That's fine. Let's do thread the needle. All right, so there's a classic way to do it. I'll show you that in just a second. Here's what you could do. You could hug yourself. Take your hands, cross one arm over the other, work your fingers towards your spine. Shoulders are up near your ears. Loosen them and spread the shoulders to the side of the room. Totally fine. Remember which arm's on top, because then we'll switch it and bring the opposite arm on top. So maybe that is your variation today. It still gets into the shoulders. Here's another option. What we're going to do is we're going to twist to one side. The side to which we're twisting, extend that arm long, reach it back. The other arm can hold on to the outside of the thigh, and you're going to twist, 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 and look to that extended arm. Another fine option. Classic thread the needle pose. You're in a neutral tabletop. Right arm lifts. So take one of those three. It doesn't matter which one you take. You do which feels best for you. I'm going to look up to my right arm. I'm going to thread the needle, bringing the right arm under the left. I'm going to adjust my knees. Everybody's height is different. Move them back, make them wider. You decide. You could use a block to rest your cheek on. I'm going to slide the left arm forward, right arm threads. I'm going to bring my right cheek to the block, or you could bring your right shoulder to the block, or no block at all. Your bottom's high and lifted, left arm is reaching to the top of the room, right arm is reaching to the left side of the room. Whew, a lot to think about. But you're just getting into that shoulder. Adjust your knees. What feels good here? What feels good in your shoulder? Breathe. All right. Good stretch. There's another variation you can take on the wall. We'll do that maybe one day this week, just so you can see options. All right, let's unthread the needle, de-thread the needle, slide the arm out, bring the left arm back to under the left shoulder, send the right arm up, up, up to the sky, twist again and look up. Float the arm down. Let's do the other side. So if you're in one of those other variations, switch sides. I'm going to press into the ground on my neutral tabletop. I'm going to lift my left arm up to the sky, and I'm going to twist to look up, up, up to that hand. Left arm, as I exhale, comes under the right. Right arm slides up. Use the block if you want to, under your left shoulder or your left cheek. Right arm reaches long, left arm reaches far. Breathe in, breathe out. Oh, you got it. Nice big twist in the waist. Nice stretch and lengthening in the shoulder. Ooh, stretch it out. As you're ready, when you're ready, let's come out of it. Slide the left hand back, slide the right arm down, lift the left arm up, twist and look up. Exhale, finish, come back to a neutral tabletop. Bring everything back to the midline by using your cat-cow pose. Chin to your chest, tailbone under. Inhale, cow, crown of the head and tailbone lift. All right, now let's go into our plank. We do a plank in just about every practice every day. We set a timer for 1 minute. You can do it for the minute. You can do it less. You can do it longer. If you're doing it longer, get into your plank now. You decide how long you want to do it, and disregard the timer if you don't want to keep track of it. It's only there for you to measure your progress if you want to measure your progress. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you try. All right, so if you're new to planking, you can lie on your back. Imagine the ceiling is the ground and push your hands up to the sky. You could stand next to a wall, step your feet back from the wall, equidistant, and then press your hands into the wall. And you just want to feel the strength and the little bit of shift in the power in your arms. You can take a plank on your knees, slide your knees back, hinge your weight forward, and just like almost like the feeling when you're going to do a push-up, maybe hold there. You could come down to your forearms, parallel to the sides of the mat. You could send your knees back and hold it here. You could tuck your toes towards your shins, lifting your hips up and holding in what's called a dolphin plank. totally fine. So many variations. Do what works for you. I'm going to go into a high plank. So I'm going to have shoulders over wrists for alignment and stability. Legs long on the mat. I'm going to press into the earth and we're going to set a 1 minute timer. Here we go. 1 minute. So whatever variation you're in, stay stable, stay strong, and push the earth away. Fingers are spread wide in a high plank. Lengthen through the spine and hold. Breathe here. All right, so we're about 15 seconds in. You are stronger than you think you are. Strength is so important. Don't think the older you get, oh, I don't need to be strong. Yes, you do. We tend to lose muscle mass at a rate of 2 to 3% per year as we age. Don't lose it. Stay strong. Stay in the game. We've got less than 30 seconds to go. All right, hold it here. I'm going to challenge myself a little bit by taking my right hand and tapping my left shoulder, then my left hand tapping my other shoulder. So back and forth a few times. We got 10 seconds to go here. I'm going to plant my hands and do some plank jacks. Jumping out with the feet and back to center. 5 seconds left, 3 seconds left, and 1 and done. Come on down to your knees, have a seat, and grab some water. 1 minute. Go longer if you want. Totally up to you. If you did it for 5 seconds, excellent. Every little bit matters and every little bit counts. It's those little steps that get you where you need to be. I need water. All right. Let's go. Next pose, our little core sequence that we typically do. Come to seated, maybe have your strap nearby. Soles of your feet touching, knees open wide. Here's a variation. Place the block under the outsides of your feet, pinky edge side. Maybe that feels good. You don't like it? Take the block away. Hands to prayer center. Come back to that moment of gratitude. And recline. Come on down, all the way down to your mat. Once you're down, maybe you hike that block up closer or further away. Let it feel good as you open up in the hips and in the inner thighs. Place your hands, or just here's a variation. You don't want to do the sit-ups? Maybe take your hands and your arms, elbows to shoulder height. Forearms can press into the earth. Ooh, your chest lifts a little bit here. Feels like a supported fish pose. And you can rest here with your goalpost arms. Breathe. I'm going to do Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. I'm going to bend my elbows, bring my fingertips lightly to my temples. I'm going to exhale and let my chin go up toward the sky. Inhale down, exhale lift. Little lifts, little lowers. Elbows and knees open wide. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Lift, lower, breathe. Tight, low abs. You got it. Don't quit. Keep up. Do what you can. Keep up with you, nobody else. Try to lift and lower. Breathe. And then let's finish here. Come all the way down. Let's do bicycle pose. I'm going to remove the block from my feet. Soles of my feet can be on the mat, fingers at the temples. Maybe today I just want to lift out of the shoulders and pulse. That's fine. Don't sweat it. Do something. Maybe work opposite elbow toward opposite knee as you do a little twist. Maybe you're fully reclined and you lift your knees up. Knees over hips, toes drawn towards the shin as your shins are parallel to the earth. Ride a recumbent bicycle driving through your heels. Whew, breathe, it's all good. Maybe lift the shoulders up and work opposite elbow toward opposite knee. That's good too. Here's something else. Straighten your legs and scissor kick them. Breathe. Maybe you don't want to do the arms. Maybe you're just scissor kicking your legs. It's all good. Just move. All right, let's finish. Come on down. Stretch it out in what's called a stick pose. Legs go long, toes reach toward the bottom of the mat. Palms touch high overhead, reach and stretch. You look like a big number one. Number one because you are number one. Big letter I. Stretch it out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let it go, let it go, let it go. All right, float your arms down by your sides. Let's do boat pose. Now here's what you can do. You can take your strap, or it could be the belt to your bathrobe. Place the strap underneath the center of your feet and lean back. All right, no rounded shoulders. Shoulders are back, chest is lifted. Then lean back like you're in a recliner and let your legs come on up. You're holding on to the rein, like the strap, like reins of a horse. Hold it here, play with your feet a little bit, lift and lower. You decide how you want it to be. You don't have to stress out all the time. Tomorrow we'll do a different variation of boat that's a little more challenging. If you know a variation that you want to take other than this, go for it. Maybe a little bend in the knees. Ooh, engage your core. Stay strong, keep that chest lifted, keep your elbows hugged in. There's your boat pose for today. You could do it with no strap if that is what suits you. Let's come on down. All right, seated on your bottom, shoulders over your hips. Fold forward. Look at your knees, fold forward. Let your hands slide down towards your ankles, your toes. Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Elbows hugged in. You got it. You got it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let your shoulders float up over your hips. Let's go into a lunge. All right, take your 2 blocks, come to standing on your knees. This is gonna feel good in your hips. Shoulders are over your hips. All right, so you're standing on your knees. Bring the right foot forward, knee over ankle. Press the blocks into the earth. Send the left leg super duper long. This is the key to getting into this pose. Left leg is straight and long with the top of the foot on the mat. Put a towel under your left knee if that feels better. You can hold on to these blocks. What you want to feel here, and take a second to feel it, is a big stretch in the front of that left hip. Breathe in. Breathe out, let it go. Lift your shoulders on up. Fingertips to the blocks, hands to prayer center. And here's a little trick. Push hard into your feet, the top of that back left foot and this right foot. Push into the feet, push them into the ground. Use the ground. Hold it here. And you know, if you don't like this, stay a little out of it. Peel the layers back. Go back to what works for you. I'm gonna lift my arms up, that's an option. And then reaching the fingers toward the back of the room, that's an option too. Hands back to prayer center. This is my favorite part. We call this surfing. Place your hands back on the blocks, straighten the right leg, and then rebend it. Rebend it as much as feels good, and straighten it as much as feels good. All right, so many ways to do this. Let's do it this way today, or what works for you. I'm gonna walk the blocks back and I'm gonna keep my heel planted. I'm gonna let my right toes come up and I'm gonna walk these blocks back and I'm gonna sit on my left heel. Maybe you like that, maybe not, your call. I'm gonna walk the blocks forward and let that knee come forward to the ankle, no big deal here. Then I'm gonna walk it back, keeping that heel planted good and strong. I'm gonna sit on my left heel, or not, you know, whatever works. And then I'm gonna come forward. All right, I'm gonna switch out the knees now. Right knee comes down, it's gonna meet the left. Left leg comes up, left knee over left ankle. Press into the blocks, take that moment to get that right leg right. Top of the right foot on the mat. Push into both feet. Maybe bring the shoulders more over the hips. Breathe in, breathe out. Let it feel super good. And as you're ready, let's surf. Surf. Straighten the left leg as little or as much as you like. You got the blocks bringing the ground up to you. Maybe you surf it on back, keeping that heel planted, and maybe sit on your right heel. Back and forth, your call, as much or as little as speaks to you. All right, a lot of nice movement in both knees, right? All right, let's finish up here. Let's come back to standing on both knees. Remove your blocks. Let's go into a down dog. Place your hands on your mat. Tuck your back toes under. Send your hips high as your legs straighten. tailbone high up to the sky. Feet are hip width distance. Give them a gentle pedal toward the earth. Push into your hands. Breathe in, breathe out. Shake your neck. Look back to your knees or your belly button. Still your heels. Let's go into some balancing. Walk your feet up to meet your hands, or your hands back to meet your feet. You're folded in half here. Slowly roll your spine up one vertebra at a time. Come on up to a standing position. Balancing. Let's start with you will look taller. Feet are planted. Zip them up. You're going to make your body look like a capital letter Y. Bring your arms up high for the letter U, or for the letter Y for the word you. So think of the first letter of each of the words, you will look taller. Stretch the backs, or push the backs of your hands to the back of the room for the letter Y. There you go. You will bring your elbows down, keep the hands pushed toward the back of the room. Push them really far and feel what you feel. Feel tightness along those muscles along your spine. Lengthen up. There's your letter W. 2 L's, forward and backward, with the forearms parallel to the earth. You will look. Tee out your arms. Now pulse your hands to the back of the room. There's your word taller, or maybe terrific. You will look taller. You really will. It really strengthens the muscles along your spine, making you look taller. All right, let's do it again. You will look taller. Let's do it again. You, don't forget to push the backs of the hands back, will look, T for taller. Let the arms float on down by your sides. Feel what you feel here. Eyes closed maybe, so you can focus on how your strong spine feels, how your long spine feels as the crown of your head reaches toward the sky, and your shoulders are back and down. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out as we prepare for Vrksasana pose, which is called tree. Hands to prayer center. Maybe your chair is here. I'm going to root into one foot, open up the other leg. Press the heel into the opposite ankle, or not, or lift the foot up a little or higher, but just don't place the foot onto the knee. So push the foot maybe into the thigh. It's up to you. Hips are equal distant to the front of the room. Hands to prayer center. Focus your vision up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe grow a branch or two, or hold on to the chair. Maybe sway your hands from side to side. Don't look at me. You've got to focus upward at something that's not moving to keep your balance. And if you fall out, which I often do, get right back in. No big deal. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the foot to the center of the body. Place the foot down. Let's do the other side. Just take a moment here. Root into both feet. Be thankful for them. Open up your left hip to the side of the room. Foot wherever you want it to be, but the only place you don't want it to be is on the knee. Lift the foot to the degree that feels right for you. Maybe not at all. Totally good. I'm going to place the foot in my upper inner thigh. I'm going to hold onto my hips for a moment to just get my balance. I'm going to lengthen up. Hands to prayer center. Grow the branches. Sway the branches. Wiggle the fingers. You're strong, you're stable, you're properly aligned. Don't quit, don't give up. You got it. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Plant the foot next to the other foot. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Warrior 3. This is a big one. All right. So, Dwayne, can you come in here, please? All right. I'm going to do it against the wall to show you because I think that'll help. You can take your Warrior 3 without the wall. You could take it with a chair. I'm going to do it against a wall right here to show you how you can do this. Okay, so here's the deal. You be up against a wall and you step back like from your waist to your legs, you step away from the wall at that distance. I'm going to get the wall dirty. New walls. Let's get them dirty. I'm going to place my foot on the wall. Oh, and I feel so secure doing that. I'm going to bring the foot up to about hip height. I'm going to put some softness in my standing knee because I don't want to lock it out. But I'm going to press my foot against the wall. Then I can either have my hands on my hips or reach them far forward. So there's your warrior 3 on the wall. Hands back to prayer center, right foot meets left. Now I'll do it without the wall. So just think about that. You got a wall nearby, or you got a chair nearby, you could put your foot up on the seat of the chair. Totally fine, lots of ways to do it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the other side now. I'm gonna step forward with my right foot, lift my left leg up, maybe put the foot on the wall, or not, just evolve to different levels. You could keep your hands on your hips. You keep your hand on a chair. Totally fine. I'm going to raise my arms and lift them. Maybe I am. I'm going to send them parallel to each other as I reach and stretch and bring my body into the shape of a capital letter T. Hold it and then finish. Come back. Feet together. There you go. So there's lots of ways to use. Tables, chairs, the wall, it's all good. Okay, so there's your warrior 3. Okay, so let's fold forward. Your halfway fold. Look back to your knees, wiggle your knees, shake your neck. Big pose here. Let's bend our knees, come all the way down, and have a seat on your mat. Send your legs long. You can use a strap or no strap at all. Toes up toward the sky. Let's do that seated forward fold. I'll use a strap today just for fun. Place the strap underneath your foot. Lengthen up, hug the strap, pull the strap, and then hinge forward. No rush, no hurry. Take your time and let you feel what you feel. Breathe in, your belly's gonna push against your thighs and you're gonna rise up a little bit. Breathe out, imagine your belly button going all the way back to your spine, and fold. That's why we often say when we're cueing the breath, we say exhale on the folds, because think about it, if you try to inhale on the fold, you're kind of working against yourself. You can't fold as much because your belly's full of air. So exhale the air out of your lungs and fold forward. Maybe your nose comes towards your knees. If this is like, woo, feeling it in the back of your hamstrings, put a little bend in your knees. Let it feel good in your back. No rush, no hurry. Soften the shoulders. Let's come on up to a seated position. So there's your seated forward fold. Let's come down to our bellies and let's do Superman. We'll do Superman, then we'll go to an airplane, then we'll do Superman and go to locust. I'll show you what I mean. All right, airplane, locust, kind of the same thing. All right, come on down to your belly. Don't be intimidated by your yoga. Your yoga is your movement. It's your way. Don't think you can't do it. Don't be intimidated by it. You're doing it. You're moving. You're doing it. All right, Superman. Arms go long like you did in that wide-legged child's pose. Feet, whatever feels good, distance apart. So you're on your belly. Rest your chin. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale the air out of your lungs. Maybe lift your legs up, maybe one leg or the other, and just feel the goodness in your low back. Legs are lifted. Maybe put the legs down and then lift your arms up and hold them there. Maybe you do them separately. Maybe your Superman does the legs or one leg at a time, or just the arms. Maybe you put it all together and you're balancing on your pelvis and hold. Reach, stretch, let the long, lengthened arms sweep back, palms face down, pinkies are towards your hip creases. Lengthen up, feel like a big jet airplane. Hold it. Sweep the arms back, go back to your Superman. This time, sweep the arms back. Interlace your fingers behind your low back and let those interlaced fingers work up the back wall. Maybe that feels good. Let's do it again. Superman, airplane, Superman, interlaced fingers. And then finish. Hands under your collarbones. Press on up to your seal pose. Arms are straight. You can do it because we did planks. Breathe here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come on up to standing on your knees. Once you're standing on your knees, let's take a gentle little camel pose. Hands to your low back. Push your hips forward. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe look a little bit overhead. Tomorrow we'll reach for our heels. But just breathe here, no rush, no hurry, you can do it. Ease into your week. Life is hard enough. Come on up, shoulders over your hips, tee out your arms, and twist to the right.
Look over your right shoulder. Come back to center. Twist to the left. Look over your left shoulder. Come back to center. Hands to prayer center. Lengthen up with a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's sit on our heels. So the tops of your feet are on your mat. Have a seat on your heels. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Big stretch in the knees, waking up the quadriceps. Let's come out of this pose. All right, let's come on down to a seat. Place your block at the bottom of your mat and then bring your eye shade and your towel up towards your shoulders. That's a good sign, right? It means we're coming into the home stretch. Block is down by the bottom of your mat. Hands to prayer center. Lengthen up, place one foot on top of the block, one ankle on top of the block, and then roll on down. All right, so once down, almost in a tree pose, aren't we? Let's do this. Lift the leg that is not on the block, bend it, and you can place it on the calf or the shin. I guess it's the shin, the front of the calf, the shin. And let the outside of that knee of the bent leg fall toward the earth. You can lift it up higher onto the thigh if you like, and let that knee fall toward the earth. Breathe here. Kind of like a reclined tree pose. Feel what it feels like to bring the toes toward the shin. And just let that right hip, on my side, the right leg is the one that's bent. Let it feel open as that knee works toward the earth. Other side. I'm going to bring my right leg long and rest it on the block. I'm going to bend my left leg and maybe place the outside of the left ankle on the right shin. Maybe that's plenty of a stretch today. I don't like it on the knee. It doesn't feel real comfortable, so I'm going to scoot it up a little bit higher into the thigh, letting the bent knee open up toward the earth. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's send the left leg long to meet the right. Bring both feet off of the block and onto the ground. Arms, let them float down by your sides as we prepare for bridge pose. Feet hip-width distance apart. Lengthen up through your spine, and when you're ready, push into the earth and lift your hips up. Lift your hips up, maybe even take your hands and push your bottom up higher to the sky to get your bridge a little higher. Just that little extra nudge helps. Arms down by your sides. Lift. Press hard into your feet. Maybe interlace your fingers behind your low back. Wiggle your shoulder blades closer to your spine. Push the pinkies of your hand into the mat. Lift a little higher. Stretch it out. Release your hands, roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. You did it. All right, let's do a supine twist. Left leg long, toes drawn toward your shin. Right knee is already bent, but I'm gonna take my interlaced fingers or maybe my towel and place it underneath my knee and hug the knee in. Maybe this is where you stay. While you stay here, maybe circle the ankle to the right and to the left. If you want to do the twist part of this, hug the knee in. Left hand takes the right knee across the midline of your body. Right arm tees out, shoulder stays down, look to the right. Breathe in, breathe out. Bring your right hip down, hug the knee in again, maybe circle the ankles, send the right leg super duper long on your mat. Other side's turn. Drag your left heel up. Hug the knee in with whatever props you like. You know, the strap would work too. Whatever works, just hug it in. Really feel that goodness in those hips. Keep that hip mobility going. You gotta move it or lose it, right? Ankle circles this way and that. Hug it in. Soften your shoulders. You know, your poses look just perfect.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You know, we always say, oh, we're a winner, or they're a winner and I'm a loser. We're all losers. Think of it in a positive way. Nobody's perfect. Right hand grabs the left knee, cross it over, rest on your right hip. Left arm tees out, look to the left. Nobody is perfect. Everybody faces similar obstacles. They're all just different. But let your yoga be your friend. Let your yoga work for you, not against you. Let your yoga feel good for you. Let the yoga meet you exactly where you are. Let's bring the left hip back down, hug the left knee in, circle the ankle this way and that. You got it. Send both legs long on your mat. We'll do happy baby next. Several ways to do it. Maybe you walk your feet up toward your bottom, or maybe you drag both heels up. It's all part of the evolution. Bring your knees up toward your chest. Left hand captures under left knee, right hand captures under right knee. Spread your legs a little bit, bringing your knees towards your armpits. Rock and roll from side to side. Let it feel good on your low back. Just rock here. Think of like a little happy baby. All right, and there's lots of ways to take it. Maybe today you're saying, oh, this feels so good on my low back. I'm staying right here. I'm going to come to stillness at the midline of my body. I'm going to take my hands and bring them to my calves, to my ankles, or maybe to my heels. I'm going to draw my toes towards my shins. It helps me hold on more tightly to my heels. Going to send one leg high to the sky. Then I'm going to rebend it and send the other leg high to the sky. First time's really hard, and then it gets easier as you go. All right, so one leg extends, the other leg bends. Just find what feels good and is doable. Maybe arms are down by your sides and you're just kicking one leg up, then the other. It's all good. Heels together, legs lifted. Slowly lower your legs on down. Slow is relative. You take it to what's right for you. Let's come into Final Shavasana. Heels to the edges of your mat. Pinky toes fall out. Let your hips externally rotate a little bit. Cover your eyes with that fabulous eye shade or towel. Wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine. Palms face up. Rest. Deep breath in. Sighing breath out. Your eyes, don't scrunch your eyes. Make them soft. No wrinkles in the forehead. Just let the eyes be soft. Forehead is soft. Imagine your ears going back to the mat. Jaws relaxed. Teeth are not touching. Tongue is away from the roof of your mouth. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. This is your yoga. You stay here as long as you like, as long as is right for you. And you can got your remote control nearby. You can just push pause and stay here and find peace, just even if it's for a few more minutes. And then when you're ready to conclude your practice, you'd start the video back up again and join us right here, where you take a deep breath in and a big sighing breath out. Let it go. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Spread your fingers and toes good and wide and wiggle them. Inhale, reach high overhead like it's the first stretch before you even get out of bed in the morning. Lengthen. And exhale, bend your knees and your elbows and roll onto one hip or the other into a fetal position, like a little ball on the side. Bend your low arms bicep, or bend your low arms elbow, and rest your head on your bicep. Soften in the top shoulder. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Slowly float on up to a comfortable seated position. Sit comfortably in the legs, whatever is comfortable for you. Bring your hands to prayer center, lengthen up through your spine. Take a big breath in and a big sighing breath out as you appreciate the earth beneath you and the structure and the solid foundation that you have. Blink your eyes open. You did it. Congratulations. You did a 1-hour yoga session. You know, you can do lots of things. You can do more than you think you can. The key is just start. Don't quit. Just start. Okay, I want to say hi to you faithful yogis. Stan, Tammy, oh, nice and cold in Colorado. Liz, how are you? Nice and warm in Florida. Tyrone, how are you, my friend? Diane, Liz, Kelly, Rena, Tim, Connell, Blake. Glad you guys are here. Keep with it. Love you guys. See you on your mats tomorrow. Goodbye. Hi, Piper. Good girl. Good girl. Congratulations. You did it. 1 hour of yoga. You did it. You succeeded. I hope you're enjoying your yoga. It's doing wonders for your body. It really is. Every single day, come back, try it out, and enjoy it. Tell your friends about our yoga. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody, and we're on Facebook and YouTube. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. But whatever you do, show up, do your yoga, and enjoy your day.